Yeah!
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of We Talking About. Today we're going to be talking about episode 10?
11.
11!
Shit.
Oh, my
Oh,
Christ.
God.
Of The Walking Dead, Season 7.
Season 7.
This episode I really enjoyed.
I loved this episode.
I really enjoyed it.
I wasn't making eye contact because I thought you were going to be like, once again, shit sucks. And I was like, you're crazy.
No. Redeemer
We've gotten a big
episode.
fight.
Redeemer. No, because Eugene is like, hey, he's one of my favorite characters because he genuinely makes me laugh. His delivery and the things he says
Respect the hair game.
are hysterical.
And I did not realize how often I say the phrase, I'm not a scientist. But it comes up because the things we talk about and the things I do in my life or whatever the fuck. And I always try to say it like Eugene, and if I don't, I'm like thinking it, and it makes me smile.
No, he's great, and like in this episode, he had a bunch of little lines too. Like the man's great, and it's good to see more of him. I like him like embracing his character. He's like, I am a liar, I'm a sniveling weasel, but I do know a little bit, and let me use everything I got to get myself alive and survive.
Fucking totes. No, when you say like Redeemer, like this is the kind of episode that makes me go, oh, this is why I watch this show or whatever.
Yes.
And they fucking, like, for both of these characters, because I just kind of drew a line down the middle of, like, my notes, and I have Dwight over here, and I have Eugene over here, or whatever the fuck, just to be like, because it was great. Someone, like, turned somebody loose and was like, just run MOS on Dwight in his room freaking out, staring at this paper or whatever. We'll cut something together. And his beautiful, brilliant face work he's doing and all that shit.
No, and
you find out all these things about all these characters. It's fucking awesome.
I even liked the random like hench girl that shows around. I was like, no, she's like even becoming a good character. Where I'm like, all right, I was gifted some pickles.
It's like, what do you have to show for it? Okay. Just the way he stands, his feet are practically like going together. And he's like, just like constantly this fucking, it's so good.
But I like that things also worked out for him. Like he gets shown to this door. He's sad. He's crying. He has like a home with vegetables and eggs and food in the fucking fridge. I got beer. Where I got video games? They got me an Atari? Oh my God, it's the best I've had it in like 6 seasons. Like,
so let's dive into that. Like before the credits, they like lead him in, and like when he was led away, you know, when Negan's like, I'm taking your bullet, motherfucker, with me, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, on some level, I thought maybe something interesting would happen, but I think even on one of these episodes, I may have said, like, and he is fucked. He's going to have a collar on. He's going to be in a tiny cage, barely big enough to hold him, and just making bullets all day. It's going to be the worst time of his life.
I pictured a Jesse scenario from Breaking Bad where he was, like, you know, chained on a thing just in that factory, able to, like, you know, touch all the machines but not do anything else.
Right, just, like,
work
crying
10 hours
and
a day.
making bullets and this horrible thing or whatever. And, you know, they knew that, and they have you going, he's like, please no, like you were saying, and then they open. Is that the same apartment that we've seen before?
I think so, or there's a lot of ones
just
that
accidentally maybe.
It's that it could be the same one, or it could be in this facility like that was the norm. Like there could be a break room on every floor that looks like that.
Yeah, so it was just basically because yes, it felt like the room where he was talking to Carl, Negan was talking to Carl, and being like, "Let me see it. Come on, I feel like I unwrapped my present or whatever." Yeah, and like, so some of these shots were so fucking good. I loved him being like, "Can I have lobster?" And she's like, "No, you can't have lobster.
You can have anything you want. Anything? I said anything. Anything? Do I have to hurt you? I would like a lobster. Can't have lobster. What do you think this is?"
She's like, "What is wrong with?" And she literally like breaks out of it and goes, "No, what? No, what is wrong with you?" And he's like, "Okay." And then like the whole potato chips thing, and when she's like, "Yeah, no, he makes them. He makes them. Yeah, he makes them. He makes them fresh. Yeah, they have a kettle." And he's like, "Never mind," or something like that.
Yeah.
Like dissing kettle chips in this hilarious way, where I'm like, because he wanted those like Lay's, he wanted Ruffles and shit like that.
I would have wanted the Ridges.
He he didn't want some fucking like.
You have Cheetos.
Like fucking like country chips. You wanted like the shitty chips that we know and love. And then like I'm saying, like they must have had some DP or someone like someone who has not been around for half of the episodes we've seen so far total this season, and including the first half, because they show you his like finger like locking in the door, and they show you all these cool hot shots. He puts on fucking Easy Street and starts subtly headbanging to it, and I'm like, this is a good tune.
Is it the only song they have? Like, is it on a tape in every fucking thing?
I don't know, but it's really weird that that's their torture song. That's also in that in that tape deck ready to go. I wonder if it's just fucking like 59 minutes and 58 seconds exactly of just a loop of Easy Street, and that's just what they have or something like that. But I forget like what else happened here. Yeah, he's like crying, looking in the fridge, because like holy shit, right? And it was weird because there were pickles in that fridge, I think, and she said we're out of pickles, and then there were pickles somewhere else too. She's not keeping track of her pickles.
I didn't see pickles in the fridge.
There were jars with something in it. It might have been like relish and something else.
I saw lots of stuff in there. Yeah. And then when they eventually did find the pickles, she's like, "Are those fresh? Made them today?" or whatever the fucking person says. All right. And I was like, "Can you make pickles in a day? I don't know how that works. I feel like pickles take a while." But they looked very cucumbery to me. But he bit into it like it was a champion. He's like, "Oh, it's so good."
And he loved it.
Yeah. Well, you got to think for really anything. If you've not had I imagine just having like ice, like you'd be like,
oh
holy
god,
shit.
No, and he fucking sold it. Like he melts into that fridge. He's like, because it's like fucking stocked,
When did
right?
the last time you had eggs were?
I don't fucking know. And I cannot like imagine what that must be like. All these veggies and eggs, and they just had them in there, right? Just fucking, here you go.
How do you think the sign-out system works? You sign for everything, and there's a point system.
Yes.
At some point, are they like, you must be worth your points, or we kill you? Like,
I don't know. Is he like initialing next to it and writing down, I took 5 points of something? And then,
I have no idea.
Does that person get to take that piece of paper and be like, reimburse me for the points your people are taking? Like, it was really cool to see that there's slightly, because like, we saw Dwight making that badass, fucking apocalypse sandwich.
Yeah.
And he was just walking around like, fuck you twice, fuck you, like getting all the ingredients.
Yeah.
But now we see, because she kind of leads him through that there is this convoluted system, and people are like.
But I think you're also slightly above the system if you have a name.
Totes.
So like Dwight, I don't know if he was signing any of those things.
I don't know. Yeah.
And I don't know what that even means if you're like, I'm the guy who just designed the better defense system for this whole compound. Give me your fucking pills.
How many points
I'm
is that?
taking this stuffed animal. Fuck you.
I don't even know what you call this. I'm going to call it a Grammy Lock.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. I was dying for that. And because, all right, do I just talk about Eugene?
He took a bedpan also. Yeah, let's go all the way through it.
So Eugene,
he embraced his inner evil.
So, out of order, yes. That's the first point. I think the first point. Where, and that was, excessive and weird. And, you're not cool if you have to go back 4 times to take more things or something like that.
Yes.
And, yes, he took a bedpan for no reason. And he took the stuffed animal and all that stuff. But, yes, that was him being like, I am mad with power. My very...
I think it's just that, I've been called a bitch enough. I've been sad enough. Yeah. I'm finally in control of my life. I'm doing what I want.
Yes.
And I was like, go for it, Eugene. Do what you gotta do,
He is stretching his wings. He's been lying and sniveling and trying to get by for so long. And honestly, I think, how did I characterize it? When Rosita's getting him to make the bullet, it's like this long conversation, but I summed it up by listen, you fat fuck, make me a fucking bullet. Fucking do it. And he's like, and then she uses the bullet and people die and there's blood. He's like, just freaking out. It's the worst thing ever. And his face sells it so much, and he's been so collapsed by the whole thing.
It's true.
And I think he thought he was gonna die. He was gonna be missing fingers. It was gonna be the worst day ever. And then to turn around so much and to be like, holy shit. And then have Negan be like, Mr. Smarty Pants, Dr. Smarty Pants, here you go, and all that shit. All of a sudden he's like, all right.
Because multiple times now he's thought, I'm gonna lose fingers, I'm gonna die. Because when he first said, I'll drive the RV, and then he got caught.
Yeah.
Thought he was dead right there.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't. And that so multiple times, he's like, oh God, Negan, I'm so sorry, I'll do whatever you want. Oh God.
Watched him kill his friends like that. Yeah, totes.
And now it's like, I am Negan, I'm all about Negan. I didn't know I was Negan until I met Negan firsthand. I am Negan.
How did you feel about that? That was so amazing to me.
It did not strike me as anything other than what should be coming from that character because of who he is. He's like a sniveling toad of a character.
Yes.
He talks too much, so he would over the top go with the Negan-ness.
He cuts Negan off. I'm Negan. I've been Negan my whole life. And it popped into my head. Do you remember in Airheads? I wrote that song before I even met you.
Yeah.
Because he says something like, I was Negan since I was born. Before I just had to meet you to solidify it properly. Something like that. Yes, just piling it on. No, it was perfect because there's like comments peppered throughout where he's like, "I'm not chaotic good or lawful evil," or like, so he's doing.
I'm not neutral, chaotic, or lawful.
and then someone in like a following scene, one of the wives is like, "You're a coward." He's like, "Yep,
that is an accurate assessment."
Nailed it, or something like that. I know, it's like fuck, because like and he's he's like embracing that. He's like, "Yes, I am a coward. Yes."
I called that from like the first step when those girls started talking to him about that shit. I'm like, nope, they're gonna kill Negan. Like, don't help them. They're gonna get caught. You're gonna get in trouble for this. Don't do it. And then he was smart enough to not do it. And I was like, all right, good.
So wasn't that weird though? Negan's like, I'm gonna send over some of my wives. Don't fuck them though. I was like, this is really weird. Why would you do this? And I'm like, it's a test. Oh no, he's gonna. Oh no, it's gonna be horrible.
I don't think it was a test. Right. I think they genuinely acted on their own, volition, trying to get him to kill Negan. But I can understand where he said, like, just hang out with him. You can't fuck them, but they're there for blah blah. Because like, if he ever does let anyone ever touch his other wives, which I think he does let other people do that shit. I think that's not something you want to like tip your hand off to the beginning. You want to make someone long for it. Okay. You want to make sure he works for it. You want to see them again. Like,
I would think like this dude hasn't been doing anything possibly ever. He might do something stupid to one of my wives, then I'm gonna have to kill him. But he's Captain, Commander Dr. Smarty Face. I want to keep him around. Like, it seems like a weird thing to do, but it's amidst a bunch of other weird things. So I don't know. It stood out to me as like, what? Why would you put him in this position? He can only fail. Oh God.
But I think he took it as stride. It was good.
He totally did.
And I thought almost until they started asking him, to help him kill Negan. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's actually built a bond. They actually like him. Yes. This could be a thing when this all ends. He might be a pimp and have a couple of girlfriends. But it didn't work out the way.
So one of them was like, we could just have some conversation, and then she's like, how about the Human Genome Project? I could talk about that shit for hours. And I was like, oh God, it's a test. They're like it's all gonna be like Negan seeing through his lies about how I'm not a scientist again, and it's gonna be this whole fucking thing.
I pictured it being something where she was gonna say like she is a scientist.
That's what I mean.
And but it didn't exactly. I think he covered well. It played out fine.
Everything worked out, but I literally thought the same thing, that one of his wives used to be really into science or worked at a research lab or who the fuck knows in like the previous world, just some mousy hot chick that now walks around like that. And he was like, I'm gonna send in this wife who's a black belt in Aikido, and I'm gonna send in this wife who's this, and they're gonna fucking prove that he's a liar. And I was like, Eugene, no! Why didn't they give you a TV that works? He makes that dumb bomb that expands, and the balloons. They go on this little adventure or like whatever. Yes, when they talked about the poison, the minute she said, and could we have two? I was like, oh no, they're gonna kill Negan. Oh God, what's gonna happen? Oh God, oh God.
Or they could have easily ripped that off by saying, like, we wanted to kill her and her mother. Because they said the only reason she did this is because her mother needed meds, and that's why they both wanted to get released from Negan. And I think he could have written it off, and I think he would have been like, okay. But they fucked that shit up.
So then we have some awesome scenes of him, like, it's like, Negan, we have to cook. Speaking of Jesse, right? He's all, dressed up and doing the fucking chemistry.
I loved, I'm going to light this candle. No, I mean this little candle.
No, yeah, the whole thing was wonderful and awkward,
He's
and
great.
Just the whole stupid thing, and like the dude comes like, like what's going on here? And she's like, no, he's with us, he's cool. And she's like, you don't have to worry about anything, dude.
Yeah,
come on. No, he must be feeling for once in his life so useful.
Well, girls are talking to him. People want him for things.
Cool.
His mental, he's fitting into the role he wants to be as like a planner or like it's got to be nice, and it's all going to come crashing down. And the thing is, I wonder if there's going to be that betrayal moment. Like when all the chips start to fall, like, to the left and the right, where exactly does Eugene fall? Because Negan, while still, hasn't killed his friends, is a bad guy, has been stroking his ego and is giving him a little bit of what he wants, and he has a little bit of power here. We don't know what the next episodes are going to bring, if that's going to, if he's going to get taken down a peg or, lift it up a notch. But I wonder, because I could see him doing something where it's like, nope, I sabotaged all those bullets. None of them are going to fire, like type of thing. Or
all the bullets were set to go off at noon.
Something. I wonder. Because he's just Weasley enough, and I'm like, it could go either way based on his best interests.
I totally feel, well, okay, so he's going to keep doing what he's doing.
Most definitely.
He might, because he's so awkward with his, I'm feeling confident for the first time. He might overstep something and have some shit happen. And maybe if that shit's bad, that kind of, fuels him to be I doubt this is, a master plan from the beginning to, get back with Rick or something like that. I don't know. I would like it more if it wasn't, but this is television, so maybe he's going to be like, I considered his offer for approximately 90 seconds. Since then, I've been working for you. It'll be that stupid thing, that, trophy thing. But, because, yes, he could just be working from the... We'll see, the next time we see him, he might be doing stuff like, it is illogical to kill that man for the following... he's going to start working against, Negan's, obscenity in some way. Yeah. And Negan's going to be like, no problem with the way we operate around here, and all that shit. It's going to be a whole thing.
We'll see. Trying to change it from the inside, like a good old boy.
Because, I have to stay here to, be in place once... Because Rick's going to show up on a white horse, and he's going to have Krakens and stuff. He's going to release them. It's going to be great. Fucking A. Did you like at the end? He has the Gremulok in his bathrobe fucking looking long coat thing, and Dwight rolls up and they sort of bond over we're Negan. Yep, pretty good.
I love how you're forgetting the best part where he goes, sorry about that time I bit your penis.
Wait, what?
He doesn't say it in those exact words.
Oh, okay.
But he's in the middle of saying something like that, and he gets cut off by Dwight.
Okay.
It's like I don't know if you caught my handle. But and he says something about I bit your tool or something like that. I forget exactly how he said it, but it made me laugh. Where I'm like, oh God, don't ever bring up to someone you bit their penis in a heat of battle.
That's crazy. I totally missed that. I thought you were gonna say that I was gonna and I planned to lead into it next, but he was like, do you want to get molten metal spilled all over yourself? Because that's the way you get molten metal spilled all over yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Archer thing. Yeah.
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get metal all over. So how do you feel about his idea of putting the metal on the zombies?
His idea works. Its proof of concept is with the rat people, because they had molten metal poured over the head of their zombie.
I find it very interesting, strange, and interesting. And
that these two things coincide at the same time.
That literally in the last episode we had a metalhead Spiky Walker, and now there's a fucking... He's like, we should make metalhead Spiky Walkers, put them on the fence. That's a little weird, and I wonder if that's going to be a fucking thing.
I wonder exactly, the practicality of this, I do wonder. Because if you're going to pour enough metal on them that it holds the structural integrity of their bodies together, how effective are they at deterring bad guys?
That was one of my first thoughts. And you can pour it on their head to protect their head, but a lot of it's going to get on their weapons that are on their face, because they fight with their face primarily. Their face and their fingers. So you have to have the hands free no matter what. Yes. I would build a lattice work and use the metal to basically either armor them or something like that. Perhaps rivet it from the back of the fence just to keep it all sort of buttressed in there.
It's a strange thing to even care about, honestly. Why not just lay them on the ground? Why not let gravity be your friend? I don't know why they have to be up against the fence.
Is there a shortage of zombies? I feel like zombies is the one resource that you will never run out of. And just have a wall of heads, just snapping heads. Oh, it's terrifying.
And if ever you run out, you've won, and now you don't have to be fearful anymore.
If you've ever run out of zombies, you can kind of just go back to being a mailman. Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah. Dwight's storyline?
It's time for Dwight's. So before the credits, we get this awesome. So, it was cool. It took me, half a second. I'm like, oh, we're back in time. Right. Because, Fat Joey's down there in, a puddle of his own brains. You get this awesome sequence. Dwight is like, Fat Joey, the chopper. And he's running and goes down or whatever. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome. I remember writing down, it's fucking awesome at this point.
And then he checks his room out, sees it's all
flopped. He finds the note. He goes back to his personal room, right, and he sees the signs that Daryl's been running amok in there.
He finds his shirt. He finds his shit all on the ground. I didn't understand exactly why he was held directly responsible for all of this immediately.
Right.
Because they held him responsible before they found out the wife was missing.
Okay, interesting.
Didn't
they? They did.
So I was like, was he in charge of guarding him?
I think he was in I know
he was in charge of breaking him.
Yes. I think that someone, I think, so like you see like one quick shot I think of like Negan just hanging out in his, in the truck, going back to my compound, everything's great, right? So I imagine he got there and someone's like, Fat Joey's dead and like the chopper's missing and this is happening and we saw Dwight running over there or something like that, and he goes, great, or something like that. Like Dwight fucked up because I left Dwight like in charge of this, or while I was gone he was supposed to, or it's like the buck stops here at Dwight's face or whatever the fuck. That's how I took it. I was a little shocked, and like even like the doctor at one point says, "You just took a massive beating unfairly." I imagine or whatever, right?
So my first thing that I didn't get in the episode, and I'm gonna jump around here, was like why was he blamed immediately? Because once the wife was gone, I'm like, okay, it makes sense because things could have been in cahoots here, whatever. But my second thing is eventually he totally fucks the doctor over.
And
I'm like, why did he do that?
I was going to ask you, and I thought you were going to call me retarded again because I was going to be like, I may have missed something.
The doctor like shit on the memory of his wife a little bit. He kind of called him a fool a little bit, but nothing that I deemed like, get that bitch killed over.
He just said stuff in like a very plain, blunt way.
Like a doctor would.
Like a doctor. He just said it in a way that like a guy who's watched, like how many people he's had to like cut off limbs to save them from turning. He's had to watch all these people, like fucking all these... A doctor's one of it's the most frequently seeing fucked up things in this world. In a world where everything is fucked up, he's the guy that you go towards. We need his help because it's fucked up.
At one point, though, in the other storyline, the girls threaten to blackmail Eugene and say, we're going to tell him it was your idea, blah, blah, blah. And Eugene says, he won't believe you. It'll be like the doctor's word versus Dwight's. I'm more important than you, blah, 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 blah. And that made me think, I'm like, why is Dwight more important than a doctor?
No,
there is a finite resource in doctors, and they said they have two, but you can't afford just to lose one.
Negan made a comment about, I thought, about Eugene being a doctor or something like that. At least we got a spare or something like that.
Yeah,
and
but that's like having a doctor of literature.
That's that was my first thought was, I'm not that kind of doctor. So he's gonna be like suturing wounds? I don't think so, because like the way that everything went on, like to not address that in that episode, because the doctor is like dead. I would have thought then. I actually, like when that happened, then I probably just misread it because he was motioning towards Eugene, like, things ain't that bad. I fuck people. But it may have just been this, like, coincidence that he was Dr. Smarty Pants, whatever. I was afraid that, like, later in the same episode, you were going to see Eugene and then being like, wait, you can't even do this? You don't even know what this pill does? Like, what are you talking about? I thought you were a doctor. And it's like, and that was going to, like, break down his, like, shit. I think now we're out of the woods where they didn't do that, so there maybe is some other guy that's a doctor.
It's just very strange.
Doctors are so important. Oh my God.
Even if you had 10, I would never risk losing one. I'd be like, you're a dirtbag from the road. You've betrayed me once. I burned your face. You're dead. Fuck you. Like,
no,
and you actually were the one that fucked up shit here.
No, like if everything that they accused the doctor of was true, I would have just been like, listen, man, what the fuck? And done like that or something like that.
Yeah,
I cannot
at the
believe
worst case, I'd maybe
cut
cut his feet off. Like things that he wouldn't need to doctor people.
To do his doctoring?
Yeah, but even then, I'm like, he's the fucking doctor. Whip him a couple times. You fucking need him.
Doctors are one of the most important things in the entire world now, and we're not even in like an apocalypse.
Can't imagine that going in a worse direction. But totally knew that doctor was getting thrown headfirst into that fire.
Oh,
I was like, oh, they didn't shut the door on that. Someone's going in there. Like it was the first thought, because that's like how everything goes. Whenever you have an open like crematorium or whatever the fuck that thing is, someone's getting thrown in it.
It's always happening.
Yep.
Yeah. So I agree with you that I don't know why, because like I thought about it a little afterwards, even where I'm like, I guess he was covering for his wife. And now that's like, well, she's dead, and we have an answer where it's not her fault, so it's not my fault because this thing happened. And I'm like, that seems so extreme, though. Is that really the best way to do it? Was it like, well, someone's got to get burnt, so fuck, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm like,
I could see that being the case, but I feel like he was already like going, oh, Dwight, you cold bastard, you killed her. Good for you. All right. Like, I think he was fine with it, no?
I would have thought. I don't know.
It was a little strange
because he had to like tear that part of like of the note out and like plant it.
He like cut it perfectly. It was like a little square.
It was kind of weird. Yeah. Do they have a lot of scissors? I guess they would.
Well, you only need one.
True.
Or even a knife with 3 cuts is
one doctor. Yeah. We just need 2 knives. Then you have scissors.
Well, we had 2 scalpels, but only 1 doctor, so you can have 1. Very, very weird. What else happened in Dwight's thing? So Dwight,
Speaking of the
also
note,
shining through, like, as he was going to be a good guy, he showed up with pretzels and beer like he said he would to take care of her. I think he was going to leave with her and say, fuck this world.
That was emotional as fuck.
I felt bad.
Like, yeah, so he shows up at, do you know where she is? Yeah, I think so, or whatever, and packs up and goes out there, and then it's like her voice reading this whole note. She's not really dead though; she's just missing, right?
She left. Yeah.
He just says that she.
He
died.
said that because A, it doesn't want anyone to look for her and kill her, and B, he has to say he killed her to look good in Negan's eyes.
And that's a weird thing for me because it's like I guess his story is that there were so many walkers that he can't bring back anything of her to prove that she's dead or something like that.
Yeah, he said she walked into a wall of walkers and he shot her to give her the quick and easy death. Yeah.
Sure, I guess that's fine because there'd be nothing left because they ate it all. That's fine.
Well, I think it's just that he ran away and either she turns or not, and then whatever.
Yeah, but the note that you hear her reading reveals some stuff. So
about him and them.
Once you see the pretzels and beer, I was like, wait, does he actually have a messed up memory, or is this just like so important that he remembered it? What do you think about this memory thing?
I think you can definitely he could have a bad memory, but it doesn't mean you're not going to remember the most important things in your life, and it seemed like he didn't. But I do think it's telling that she was what made him into the bad guy that he is now, and he was willing to leave all that behind.
Oh,
and
no.
She fucked him and left.
So good.
And now the doctor's dead all because of her.
And she like, I let Daryl go because he was reminding you of who you used to be before I turned you into what you are now.
And that, you can almost see that.
And you're like, fuck.
Because of how much he despised Daryl for no reason, and it was all because of that. Like, because Daryl, when he first met them, he was helping them, and I'm sure that's what Dwight was once upon a time. Mm-hmm. He had a soul, and he did care about people, and, conscious-wise. But then, you slowly get burned in the face and Neganize out, and guy rapes your wife and whatnot.
Little by little, the bricks fall into place?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. People can
he
change
was like,
over one small action, and this is lots of actions over a long period of time.
So that resentment was like, how dare you still be like this? I'm going to turn you into what this world should turn you into.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you. Stuff.
Easy street. Something, yeah.
It's a slamming tune. I gotta tell you, it's fucking awesome. No, so like the way she described his memory thing though, I got like a Memento vibe. Like he may actually have like a real problem because she said like you're lucky you forget things because the world is like bad or something like that. I'm like that sounds like more than just like normal forgetfulness, and this might play into the character a bit.
Yeah, well, but how forgetful could he really be? Because it can't be super short term because. It has to be on a long-term basis because he remembers his duties and his Negan and his this and his that. I'm sure they'll go into more detail on it.
I wonder that
a doctor probably could have told us a little bit.
I wish the doctor could have explained it.
Yeah.
But he's burnt to a crisp. Ugh.
I also was thinking when you take that iron hot out of the oven, I don't know that Negan's gloves could sustain that heat.
Yeah, or like
I think it would burn through those to his hand, or like sear the leather to his hand.
Right.
Something, but just
be too hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah, but that whole scene was great because like Dwight's heating it up the whole time, and you don't even know that the doctor's been accused yet because we don't know yet, and then just whap right in the thing, and he makes he and that female savior make Eugene watch the whole thing. That was definitely part of it too. Where he's like, "Well, fuck, if this shit happens, fuck it. I'm just Grimlock. Come with me."
I thought when they first pulled him down and how he was in that position of like high, like he was on the top of the stairs and then stopped. I thought that was going to be Negan saying, "We've got a new man among us," and it was going to be him introducing Eugene, like nobody give him shit because he's worth more than you, like type of deal. And then it was like, "No, I'm going to kill a doctor," and I was like, "Oh, that's how you're going to play it."
Yeah, it was weird because he says like, "What's this?" and she goes, "You'll see," or like, "You'll find out." And I was like, "Oh no!" And then I thought it was something with him because he was in like a different spot or something like that.
But no, it's fine.
But yeah, Frames the doctor. I'm sorry, I'm not. You cold son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And then we already talked about the end when they're bonding a little over the thing. So fucking Eugene's like the head dude in charge or something.
He's definitely risen the ranks pretty quickly, but it makes sense because he brings a lot to the table.
He totes does.
And in a world where there's not a lot of smart people and food and resources are scarce, you need those smart people to make sure you can survive.
Do you think that amongst Rick's group he was actually getting like a raw deal and not really? Do you think that?
I think because of how he was introduced as a liar from the jump, people never trusted him or respected him the way they would have if he was just a normal Joe who was like, I have ideas. I'm a smart man. I tinker. I build. I learn.
Right.
I think he could have done more for them. Yes.
Okay.
Because, he could have gotten like, oh, yeah, see, you have these solar panel systems. I think I could jerry-rig this into an electric fence.
Right.
Like something.
You would have thought, and like thinking back to it now, it was kind of like, fuck, you go with Eugene. Well, we'll help Eugene. We're going to go back for Eugene or something like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, because they were even like doing stuff with the wall and like architecting and like planning stuff. And Eugene had his moments, and certainly his moment where he's like, I'll take the RV and here's my bullet, instruction. But like, this is interesting.
No, it was a great episode. I'm hoping the next episode. I know we won't see Eugene again probably for a whole episode because they gave us
until the season finale.
Probably because they're bastards, or come on.
So this is episode 3 of the second half.
Of the second half,
right?
Of 8, right?
Of another set of 8, yeah.
Yeah. So we're almost halfway through. We'll probably get 2 more episodes before we see Eugene again.
I could totally believe that, and I do want to check in on some of the other folks.
Yeah, no. Until next time, guys, don't die in a fire, and we will see you in a week with some more Walking Dead.